see what we said, you can go back and watch it. So with that, I think Heather has turned on the video.
Just Madam Mayor, I have to start Zoom.
Okay.
I just need to start the recording.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so with that, I will ask our CAO for a resolution to come out of camera. We did some items in camera while we were having our supper break, so if we could have that resolution, please.
Resolved that as per section 152.4, the Municipal Act, Council of the Rural Municipality of St. Clements does now resume sitting a regular meeting.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Strang, Councillor Boulanger seconds. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Okay, the first item we have on our planning agenda this evening is a subdivision, and it is on Spruce Drive here in East Selkirk, and there
You
is...
have to connect on Zoom.
Oh, connect on Zoom? I don't have, do you want to send me a link?
Sure.
Sorry.
Yeah,
That's
sorry, Madam
okay.
Mayor, that forgot that the planner has his own
Yeah,
presentation, so we have to make sure that he's
Okay.
able to connect on Zoom. And
Can you give me a Wi-Fi password?
sure. You can log in.
Sorry, my computer just... Sorry, I can't respond. Do you have a Zoom number link or something?
I sent an email to you. Did you get it?
I can't, it's giving me an issue for my Outlook account.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can give you the number on the Zoom.
Let's see if
So, meeting ID is 889-2959-8601. password for that? Or Kayla,
Password for,
the Zoom?
oh, there shouldn't be
There shouldn't be?
no, I usually don't set a password up.
Oh, okay.
It just goes to the wait room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do that work for you there?
Just trying something else here. Sorry, can you just bear with me?
We got Zoom on. We need to share the screen with anybody that's on Zoom. Just click share, only send it to the two screens.
Sorry, I can't seem to open these things up.
Are you on the Wi-Fi?
I am.
Okay. Let's see here. If I go to Zoom. Which meeting is the, which file is the
Kayla, which file is the Zoom?
We have two, one is for 129 and 131. The last submission.
So
I'm just gonna try to restart these.
during the variations, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can, if you like, Derek, you can just give me the slide presentation and then I'll just bring it up for you.
Let me see if I can fix this.
Got a memory stick right here?
It's not recognizing it.
Called soul food, like okay, soul food. I do, I actually need to see it. I'm glad he came with me. I'm glad he came with me. Some people don't seriously. They're really small. I'm sure it's medication. Look, Tony, the people so small they are. I think it's medication.
Yeah, especially in the light, they should be bigger.
I know, they're like disappearing. I can't see. And I don't know whether to go out to the dark. Because then he'll screw around with my medication. So I'm keeping my mouth shut as long as I'm living okay. That's okay.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, let's see if we can get on Zoom.
I could go talk to Debbie and Santa Claus. Ask her how she's feeling. It's been 4 years.
Your Zoom password. Keila, could you forward to Derek your Zoom link that you sent to the residents?
I don't want to seem like there should be some partiality, because Briscoe can go to a term. I see my next
Sorry, Madam Mayor.
Used to be my principal.
4:06, so we can get all this done.
Going back, I saw my natural path. What she did for me and massage therapist and
Travis is entered.
walking in the
Person.
Oh,
So we got
yeah, a bit down yet.
went to the standstill when I got sick. We're almost there, so now she's getting.
They don't have it resolved by now.
Start doing things and.
Did Derek get it? Did you get the email?
It's still sending.
Okay, in the meantime, what I can do is,
I think the first is mostly for them to see that it's one, two, and
pardon?
the first two were
Oh, here we go.
See, we don't drive. The kids are.
Is that you? RPD meeting?
Yep.
Okay, so we're good to go, Madam Mayor.
Okay, sorry for the delay, ladies and gentlemen, technical difficulties, which we never count on, so unfortunately. The first item we have this evening on our agenda is a subdivision, and it's file number S23.
Mute yourself, Derek. We're all mute. There you go.
3032 on Spruce Drive, and I will hand it, this is a subdivision that does not require a public hearing because there are no roads being created. It's a split of land, so I'm going to turn it over to our planner this evening, Derek Eno, to take us through the application, please.
So if you could share Derek, your screen.
How's that? Everyone can see
Perfect.
that? Yep. Okay, good. Thank you for your patience. Okay, so this is 565 Spruce Drive. It's application S233032. It's to subdivide this current property into two lots. So here's the property that we're talking about. It has Spruce Drive on the south as well as to the west, and then it actually has Church Road right of way to the north of it. Here's the subdivision layout. As you can see, they're just splitting it in half into two properties here. Both the properties will be about 110,000 square feet in size. The minimum size standards are 60,000 square feet. This does adhere to the zoning bylaw for width and size. And it adheres to the general intent of the settlement center policies in the development plan as well as zoning requirements. Just one point of note for council is that this property, the new properties as well, will have dual frontage, which is not allowed under the subdivision regulations. However, there is a very simple remedy to that, which is to take require a small public reserve strip along the north side, along the Church Road side. We're proposing a 1 meter strip. That's pretty standard. We've seen this before in the past, and that's just a way to remedy things so that it can actually get registered with land titles and adhere to the subdivision regulations. You see from the graphic in front of you, we have the dual frontage there on both Spruce and Church. We're recommending this be approved, subject to just the 3 conditions that are in front of you. I'll just paraphrase them. Number 1, that the applicant submits confirmation in writing for the CEO that all taxes, development levies, digital copy of the plan have been provided to the RM as well as entering into a development agreement. The applicant submits confirmation from Manitoba Archaeological Assessment Units that a heritage resource protection plan has been implemented, as well as providing the 1 meter wide public reserve along the north side just to adhere to the subdivision regs. That's all I have, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Any questions from members of council to the planner? Go ahead, Councilor Boulanger.
Is this property near any water body, any creek, any,
No, there's actually a road to the north, and then the creek is quite a distance away, actually.
how far do you figure? I don't got a bigger,
I don't,
If you like here, is that, oh,
oh, there it is, I got a map here.
Okay, so.
200 yards, 300 yards,
Yeah.
I think. That's Terry Wazinski's place, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And the water would have to go quite a ways uphill to get to this property from the creek.
Okay.
yeah, I'll just sharing my screen here and you can. There you go.
Yeah.
You can see it's just the oxbow there, the creek. Just going north here.
No, I was just wondering because of the heritage requirement, again, if it's not near a body of water, I don't know what the need is, but it's probably heritage's standard rubber, whatever they do on every application for a heritage study or,
Seems to be.
yeah.
Okay, any other questions from council? As there is no public hearing required, if council is ready to deal with it, I will ask our CAO to read our resolution for us, please.
Regarding subdivision application S23-320, proposal for Rural Living Inc. to subdivide, is that the right one?
No, that's the wrong one.
There we go.
Oh, it's still the wrong one. Up one.
This one.
No, up
One
one
more.
still, right there.
No, it's the very first 150 spruce, right?
Go up. Right there. Right there.
This one,
Yes, yes,
spruce.
yes, yes.
Regarding subdivision S23-3032, proposal of Philip and Stevens.
No. Yes,
Is that the correct one?
yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. To subdivide lot 1, plan 37680. Resolve that council approve said application subject to the following conditions. Applicant owner submits confirmation in writing from the chief administrative officer of the municipality that taxes on the lands to be subdivided in the current year and any arrears have been paid. B, required applicable fees to be paid as per bylaw 8 of 2023. C, provide a digital copy of the plan of subdivision to the Arm of St. Clements. D, enter into a development agreement with the Arm of St. Clements to address items including but not limited to 1, construction of water and wastewater services for the proposed lot, and 2, a drainage plan for approved or provided for the proposed subdivision. 2, applicant owner submits confirmation from Manitoba Archaeological Assessment Services unit that a heritage resource protection plan has been implemented. And 3, applicant owner amend the plan of subdivision by providing a 1 meter wide public reserve along the north side of the proposed lots along Church Road right away.
Okay, can I have a mover, please? Counselor Strang, Counselor Sutherland seconds. Any discussion? I guess I just have a question on that archaeological one. Do they have to get them to come out and pay any cost if they're not close to the water? I guess I just,
My understanding, madam, of this condition is that it's more like a plan of attack should they uncover something in the midst of developing the property. It's not a full archaeological dig like you've seen on other ones.
okay,
It's more of how are you going to move forward if you happen to find something while grading the property or something like that. And then further steps between the it's not as arduous, I guess you'd say, some of those.
right, okay. Okay, thanks for that, Derek. There's nothing else, I have a mover, I have a seconder, I'll call the question, all those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Okay, the next next item we have on our agenda does require a public hearing, so I will move into that. And it is a subdivision and a variation at 5613 Henderson Highway. Go ahead, Councillor Strang.
Madam Mayor, I'm going to remove myself as this is a conflict.
Thank you. And Heather will note that in the minutes. So the first application we're going to hear is subdivision file S233020, and I will ask the planner to go ahead and walk us through the subdivision.
Thank you, ma'am. Would council like me to go through the subdivision and roll right into the variances as well, since they're both related? What's your standard practice?
Read through, go through the subdivision,
And then we'll
and
open up.
then we'll open up the public hearing for the
Okay.
variance.
Perfect, thank you very much. This is application S233020. It's for a property located at 5613 Henderson Highway. The applicants would like to split this into two lots. Here is the subject property. You can see with frontage onto Henderson Highway. And then the applicant's site plan, which shows the two properties being split into about a 2-acre lot and about a 2.4 acre lot, which would be the vacant one there. This does adhere partly with the zoning bylaw, and get into that just for a second here. Proposed lot 1 does adhere to the zoning bylaw for size and width. Proposed lot 2 does not adhere to the size requirements. And the purpose, or the reason behind that is because the property is actually dual zone. This is one of those rare occasions that we see. So just going back to the property, here you can see the zoning map, which the applicant is fully within their rights and absolutely adheres to the rural residential, which is on the left-hand side of the screen. All of those parameters, so they can meet that. Then you're left with this residual, which doesn't adhere to the AR zoning requirements. But an easy fix around that, and what we're recommending is variances, which brings everything into conformance. So it does meet all the general development plan policies of the, general development policies of the district development plan. Proposed lot 1 adheres to the RR zoning, but the residual, as I said, does not adhere to the AR zoning, and variances would be required to bring the lot size as well as some existing accessory buildings into conformance. We're recommending approval subject to 3 conditions. The first one being the municipality's condition dealing with confirmation of taxes, lot fees, subdivision plan, drainage plan, connections to municipal sewer system and development agreements are all entered into. 2, that the applicant obtain all required variances, and 3, that the owner obtain all required approvals to bring the buildings on the proposed lot into compliance. I should note that there are some existing accessory buildings on proposed lot 1, which will be part of the next application that's need to be brought into compliance. So I have now.
Okay, thank you for that. Any questions on the subdivision part of the application to the planner? Okay, if you want to go ahead.
As part of the approval process in this, and the resolutions will be addressed in there, but there was a request from the applicant as part of this, which was they will pay the connection fees for the subdivision, but just as we've given everybody that's been connecting into our sewer system, we give 1 year before they need to hook up, and then we would start charging if they haven't hooked up by that period of time, and the same is available for this property because it's an existing. And for the new one, again, it's the same situation, which is up to a year before they have to hook up, they just need the connections.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Councillor Spicer.
Requirement for an engineered drainage plan for a 2.39 acre lot?
That's not going to be a requirement. We've modified the resolution. Thank you for bringing that up.
Okay.
The resolution will be required, because it's just a 2-lot split, it'll just require a drainage plan, and then depending if the plan is complicated and requires more work, then an engineered plan will be requested at that time. At this point, we don't anticipate anything more than just a drainage plan.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. So you said we're going to variation?
Yes, Madam Mayor.
Okay, so if we can have the resolution to go into variation board, please?
Let me just make sure I'm at the right one, yeah. Resolved that the regular meeting be adjourned and the public hearing be open for variation order 122-2023.
Can I have a mover, please? Counselor Spicer, Counselor Borba seconds. Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Go ahead on the variation, please, Derek.
Okay. So this is variance number 122 of 2023 for same property. The purpose of, here's the property, again, just refresh our memories. It's all related to the subdivision, split these into two lots. There's two basic kind of variances here. One is for the AR, or the residual lot, which is requires a 4-acre minimum, but as you see from the site plan, it's going to be about 2.39 acres in size. And the other variance, which is part of this, is for the accessory buildings on the lot 1, which is in the rural residential zone. It relates to the accessory buildings where you're allowed 1,280 square feet total maximum for all buildings, and a maximum of 2 buildings on site as per your zoning bylaw. We've confirmed that it'll be 2,045.15 square feet and 5 accessory buildings, 2 sheds, 2 garages, and a dog house or something like that as well. The surveyor confirmed. We're recommending that this can be approved, subject to just one condition, that it's limited to what's proposed in the variance. Here's just a graphic just showing you the variances. So we just pointed out the 2.39 acre property, and then the lot 1, you can just see all the little accessory buildings there. For council's consideration, the accessory buildings, arguably because they've been existing for some time, there should be no additional negative impact on neighboring properties. It's just one litmus test that you put through the Planning Act. As I said, we do recommend approval of this, subject to just our standard condition that it's for what's been proposed, and any changes would have to come back to council. On a side note, Madam Chair, just because the applicant's here, I understand that there were some missteps in our office that delayed them for a little bit of time. I do apologize from our office for that. So, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you for that. Any questions to the planner from council members?
I just wanted to, sorry.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to confirm one part, which is, I think the applicant is, there was the owner identified in the report, but it's really the applicant that's making the application here, and that's Rural Living Inc.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to go to my list here, and the first name I do see on my list is the applicant. Mr. Strang, did you have anything you wanted to add to this application?
No, Madam Mayor, I really felt that the planner was very precise in his information. The outbuildings that are listed on the Zabrowski property have probably been there for well over 50 years, and I'm sure they're not giving anybody too much difficulty, and they'll probably be there for another 50. Regarding the variance, that's another story. I thank you for your apology, Derek, but it was three variances or 3 postings, and we had to work through all that difficulty. I've had a number of conversations with your administrator, not with Derek. I think I should have had a conversation with you, but still a little bit indifferent regarding the variation required for a piece of property that was already kind of varied due to the fact that the AR was established by the provincial government and the planning board, but hence we have to get a variation to bring the outbuildings into compliance. 2 for 1's a good deal. So that's it. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Okay, thank you for that. Nicholas or Dana Zabrowski, do you have anything that you'd like to add to the applications?
No, not at all.
Okay, thank you. And Mark Dion, are you in the audience this evening? Okay, I have it on my list as for information and in person, but if they're not here, they're not going to speak this evening. So if council is ready to move forward, we can move forward with this. We will do the subdivision first. We'll move on to variation board first.
Resolved that the public hearing for variation order 122-2023 be closed and the regular session of council be reconvened.
Can I have a mover, please? Counselor Belanger, second. Counselor Horbus. No discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay, so we will bring forward the resolution for the subdivision first.
Regarding subdivision application S23-3020, proposed to Rural Living Inc. to subdivide Lot 1, Plan 41749 WLTO in RL 229 Parish of St. Andrews. Resolved that council approve the said application subject to the following conditions. 1, applicant owner submits confirmation in writing from the chief administrative officer of the municipality that A, taxes on the land to be subdivided for the current year plus any arrears have been paid. B, required applicable fees to be paid as per bylaw 8 of 2023. C, provide a digital copy of the plan of subdivision with the Arm of St. Clements. D, a drainage plan be prepared and submitted to the Arm of St. Clements for review and acceptance. E, mandatory connections to the municipal service system with the residual and proposed lots. Developer to pay current utility buy-in costs as per bylaw 8 of 2023. F, applicant owner entering into a development agreement with the Arm of St. Clements to address items including but not limited to secure the connection and construction of wastewater services for the residual lot within 1 year. And 2, applicant owner obtain variance of undersized lots for the Red River Planning District.
Okay, can I have a mover, please? Counselor.
Sorry, Madam Mayor, there was 3.
Oh, okay.
Applicant owner obtain all required approvals to bring buildings on the proposed lot into compliance with a rural residential zone within the Arm of St. Clements zoning bylaw number 5, 2020.
Okay, thank you for that. Can I have a mover? Counselor Spicer, second. Counselor Horbus. Any further discussion or questions? Hearing and seeing none, I will call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. And we will move on to the variation.
Whereas applicant owner of tax roll number 14400 legally described as Lot 1, Plan 41749 and located at 5613 Henderson Highway has made application for variation order number 122-2023 from site area AR zone 40 acres to site area AR zone residual lot 2.39 acres from accessory buildings RR zone 1280 square feet, total max to 2 accessory buildings, from accessory buildings 1,200 square feet total max and 2 accessory buildings, 2 accessory buildings in the RR zone of 2,045.15 square feet and 5 accessory buildings. Purpose, the requested variance is associated with the subdivision application S20-3020 as a result of the subdivision. Variances are required for site area and to allow for the existing accessory buildings to remain on the property. Therefore, be it resolved that variation order 122 of 2023 be approved with the following conditions: that the variances be limited to what is proposed in this application. Any further changes will require a new variance approval.
Okay, thank you for that. Can I have a mover, please? Counselor Horbus, second. Counselor Sutherland. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Okay, so that completes those 2 files for S23-3020 and variation 122 of 2023. And we will move on to another subdivision and variation order at 90 Matilda Avenue in Grand Marais. And if we could,
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
take care.
Thanks.
We will move into the subdivision application first. So it's file number S23-3021. Derek, if you could walk us through that.
There we go. As you said, this is file number S23-3031 at Matilda Avenue. The purpose of this is subdivide off a piece of land in the 840 zone. Here is the subject property here. We can see it involves the community center up in Grand Marais. And here is the subdivision application map. It might be a little bit difficult to see, but in the bottom right corner is the little piece that they're proposing to subdivide off. The proposed lot would be about 6,400 square feet in size. So once again, we're dealing with a split zone. And the proposed lot is in the 840 zone. So the 840 agriculture zone requires 40 acres in size and 300 feet in width, and this is not in compliance. It's, as I said, about 6,400 square feet in size and just under 53 feet in frontage. The residual lot is a PR zone, and that does adhere to the minimum lot size requirements. Therefore, there will be a variance required as part of this approval. Here you can see the split zone here with the PR on the west side and the 840 agriculture on the east side. And the applicant has provided us with a site plan showing what will be their concept of what we built on here. The purpose of this small little lot, you've seen this in some other areas of the municipality, is to provide for utility or for high-speed internet and communications. They're proposing to put on a utility building about 14 by 12 feet, which would house some of that technical infrastructure there. We did get a couple of calls on this, I guess I'll say, Madam Mayor, just on, is there a communication tower, a cell tower going up? The applicant has indicated no, there's not. This is what it's for. So as I've said, you've seen some of this in your municipality, we've seen this in St. Andrews. This seems to be pretty standard to bring utilities to the area. And that does adhere to some of the policies outlined in the development plan about creating lots to provide a full range of utility services to the population. We are recommending that this be approved subject to just two conditions outlined in the report. One is the municipality's condition with standard language in there about taxes, development fees being paid, development agreements, as well as an easement for the estate, which partly goes across this property, and then variances for the undersized lot. That's all I have, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Any questions from council to the planner? Okay, hearing none, I will ask that we move into variation board, please.
Resolved that the regular meeting be adjourned and the public hearing be opened for variation order 136 of 2023.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Sutherland, Councillor Spicer seconds. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Derek, if you could walk us through the variation, please.
Of course, ma'am. Thank you. As you noted, this is variation number 136, and it's related to the property we were just talking about and the subdivision. So the air photo which you've seen, the site plan, or sorry, the subdivision map which you've seen, and this is to reduce that proposed little property there in the agriculture zoning, even though it's part of the sort of rec area, from 40-acre requirements and the 300-foot wide requirement down to 6,413 square feet in size and 52.99 feet in width. Once again, the conceptual site plan that the applicants provided showing how they're going to be using this for the utility. And as you heard just from the subdivision, this is to create those two lots, and this would be to address that second condition of approval. We're recommending approval as well, subject to the standard condition that the variance is what it's being proposed for, and any changes would have to come back to council. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you for that. Any questions to the planner on the variation? Okay, if we come out of the variation board, I should see, is there anybody in the audience who wishes to speak on either of these applications this evening? This is for the little communications building at the Grand Marais Rec Center. Okay, I'm not seeing any hands go up, so if I can have a resolution to come out of the public hearing for the variation.
Resolved that the public hearing for variation order 136 of 2023 be closed and a regular session of council be reconvened.
Can I have a mover, please? Councilor Corbus, Councilor Spicer seconds. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, so we will have the resolution for the subdivision first of all come forward.
Regarding subdivision application number S23-3031, proposal of FHW law to subdivide lot 1, plan 65896 WLTO in the northeast quarter 18-18-7 EPM. Resolved that council approve the said application subject to the following conditions. 1, applicant owner submits confirmation in writing from the chief administrative officer of the municipality that A, taxes on the land should be subdivided for the current year and any arrears have been paid. B, required applicable fees to be paid as per bylaw 8 of 2023. C, provide a digital copy of the plan of subdivision of the Arm of St. Clements. D, enter into an easement agreement to allow access to the ice skating rink. E, enter into a development agreement with the Arm of St. Clements to address items including but not limited to, if required, 1, restricting use of the proposed lot to telecommunication uses. 2, allow a portion of the ice rink on the residual lot to be within the parameters of the proposed lot. And then 2, applicant owner obtain variances for undersized lots from Red River Planning District.
Okay, can I have a mover, please? Councilor Sutherland, Councilor Strang seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, opposed, and that is carried. And moving on, we'll do the variation order resolution.
So, whereas applicant owner of tax roll number 731400 legally described as lot 1, plan 65896, and located at 90 Matilda Avenue, has made application for variation order 136-2/2023 from site area 40 acres to site area lot 1, 6,413 square feet, from site width 300 feet to site width lot 1, 52.99 feet. Purpose to reduce the minimum site area and site width for proposed lot 1 within the A40 agricultural limited zone. The requested variance will be part of the conditions within the proposed subdivision application S23-3031. Therefore, be it resolved that variation order 136 of 2023 be approved with the following conditions. 1, that the variances be limited to what is being proposed in this application, and any further changes require a new variance approved.
Okay, can I have a mover, please? Councilor Spicer, second. Councilor Boulanger, any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, opposed, and that is carried. Okay, we will move on our agenda down to variation order 129 of 2023. And Derek, if you could know, we want to move into variation board first.
Resolved that the regular meeting be adjourned and the public hearing be open for variation order 129 of 2023.
Can I have a mover, please? Councilor Strang, Councilor Sutherland seconds. All in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Now I will turn it over to the planner to walk us through variation 129 of 23.
Thank you, ma'am. This is for a property located along Raleigh Road. The purpose is to reduce the required site width of proposed lot 6 within the general development zone. This was part of a conditionally approved subdivision, file number S22-2966. So here's the subject property with frontage onto Raleigh, just north of Coronation. And here is the subdivision plan that council has already approved. The purpose, as I said, is to go from reduce the site width, went from 200 feet, which is the minimum requirement, down to 83 feet in the GE zone. And here's the property you can see on the screen that we're talking about. It's lot 6 there. It's I guess we could say like a corner lots or a triangle-shaped lots. The property is just under 4 acres in size, but on these cul-de-sac lots, I think as you've seen before, the frontage usually doesn't quite adhere. When we take the parameters of measuring 50 feet back, it doesn't meet that. If you go back to the middle of the lot, it absolutely meets it, and it's 4 acres in size. So a public hearing for the associated subdivision was held in September of 2022, and the application was approved by both council and later on by the River Planning District Board. As I noted, lot number 6 does not comply with the width requirements, hence the need for the variance, and if this is approved, this would cross off condition number 6 of that associated subdivision. We don't see the issue with this, and we're recommending approval subject to just the standard condition for variances, that the variances for what's being proposed, any changes would have to come back to council. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for that. Any questions of the planner on this application? Go ahead, Councilor Boulanger.
How much frontage is on that piece?
Frontage
Yeah, the length, the width?
on this
Yeah.
lot is 66 feet, I believe it is. We have a radius dimension here, 66 feet looks like.
So that would have to be holding tank, or what would be the requirement there?
For on-site sewer?
Yeah,
I don't know. The typical rules are for holding tanks is 2 acres and 198 feet. That being the case, conservation sometimes gets leniency on these types of things to go beyond their rules if it doesn't meet it. As I said, this property is almost 4 acres in size.
yeah,
So,
I knew the acreage was there, but I just didn't know what the frontage.
yeah, the frontage isn't there, obviously.
Okay.
Okay, anything else to the planner? Okay, I believe that the applicant actually was Landmark Planning and Design, but are Diane and Cal Schelling in the audience this evening? Did you have anything you wanted to add to this application?
We're just interested to watch the process. Been going on for a few years now.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you for that. And I understand there is someone from Landmark here, so
Yeah.
please come forward. I'm sorry, I didn't recognize you.
No, that's okay. It's my first time here.
Oh,
I apologize, Madam Mayor, that Andre did contact me and say that he was sending someone else.
okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
That's great. I do have a brief presentation, but I think in the interest of time, I'll just speak to the item. My name is Brandon Johnson. I'm a planner with Landmark Planning and Design, here on behalf of Andre and the property owner. And thank you, Derek, for the overview of this file. There's just a few things I wanted to reiterate, and one is just that the site is quite large. It's just under 4 acres, so it exceeds the requirements of the general development zoning district. And in terms of wastewater management and on-site septic, there's more than enough room to accommodate that on-site, even with the reduced frontage there. And as Derek mentioned, there is some discretion from Manitoba Conservation when sort of configuring these lots, and just due to the pie-shaped nature, it doesn't meet that 200-foot requirement from the 50-foot measurement. But the majority of the lot is actually over 300 feet in width. And I would just conclude that we agree with the recommendation to approve.
Okay, thank you for that. Any questions to the planner? From council? No? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I see there's one more name that I have on my list, but I gotta flip screens here. Mr. Jones, did you want to speak to this application? We are at the variation that Landmark Planning and Design has put forward.
No, I do not. Thank you.
Any other comments or queries on this application? Mr. Jones, you have nothing that you wanted to add to the application?
No, I do not. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, is there anyone else in the audience who wishes to speak on this application? Okay, with that, I will ask for a motion to come out of variation board, please.
Resolved that the public hearing for variation order 129 of 2023 be closed and the regular session of council be reconvened.
Can I have a mover, please? Councilor Borges, second Councilor Boulanger. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Okay, so we can move on and bring the resolution for this variation forward, please.
Whereas the applicant owner, Tax tax roll number 60700, legally described as Lot 7, Plan 39886, and located at Rowley Road, has made application for variation order 129-2023 from site width 200 feet minimum to proposed lot 6, 83 feet. Purpose to reduce the minimum width of proposed lot 6 within the general development zone. The requested variance is part of the conditions within the generally improved subdivision application S22-2966. Therefore be it resolved, variation order number 129 of 2023 be approved with the following conditions. 1, that the variance be limited to what is being proposed in this application. Any further changes require new variance approval.
Okay, thank you for that. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Strang, second Councillor Spicer. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Okay, if we want to move on, we are at variation order 131 of 2023, and if I could have a resolution to move into variation board, please.
Resolved that the regular meeting be adjourned and the public hearing be open for variation order 131 of 2023.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Borges, Councillor Sutherland seconds, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, Derek, I'll turn it over to you.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we want to wait for Councillor Belanche to return?
Oh, yes, because he has to hear okay, yes, we will wait for a minute then. Thank you for the reminder. Okay, go ahead. We waited because if you're not here when Derek starts, you can't vote,
Okay,
so.
sorry.
That's okay.
Thank you, ma'am. This is variance number 131 of 2023. It's for the property located at 29092 Road 74 North. This is related to a previously approved subdivision, S232993, and it's to reduce the site area requirements as well as the widths within the AA agriculture zone. So just refresh your memory on this subdivision file. Here's the subject property, flag shape, rather large flag shape type of orientation. And here's the subdivision map, a little bit of a mess, but I'll come back to it just to clarify a few things. The site area requirements in the AA zone are 80 acres, and for proposed lots 1, 2, as well as the residual, the applicant's proposing to reduce these down to 3.64 acres, 6.89 acres, and 65.17 acres respectively. As for the site width, the residual lots has been reduced down to 142 feet from the 300-foot size requirement. So this graphic just kind of shows you or tries to break up what the different variances are all about. So the variance for site width is just on the one lot on the far right screen that you can see, and then the variances for the site area are for all 3 of the new titles. So as I noted, this is associated with subdivision S232993, which is approved by both City Clements Council as well as the Planning District Board. Variances are required because it does not comply with that AA agriculture general zone. And if approved, this would strike off condition number 3 of that conditionally approved subdivision. We're recommending approval subject just to the standard condition that the variance is to what's been proposed, and anything we will have to come back to council. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you for that. Any questions to the planner from council? Go ahead, Councillor Sutherland.
I'm just curious here, I'm trying to get my bearings on this property, because we have other 4-mile roads. I'm just want to get back to where we are here in that road.
This is, you'll probably know by name rather than
Yeah, well-
location. It's the Belinsky property, kind of at the end of,
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
no, it's past on CIL
I know.
Road, and yeah, okay.
Well, he's gone now. but
Yes,
anyway.
Peter's gone. Rob, you're kind of
Nope.
looking, you're good?
Yeah, I know what you're
Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
I was just drawing a blank there.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions for the planner? I see Mr. Hacking, the applicant, is in the audience. Did you have anything that you wanted to add to this application, George?
No, I don't think so. I think it's fairly clear, like it creates sort of a better agricultural land, consolidates all the agricultural land and sort of maximizes the use of that frontage and minimizes the, sort of the agricultural aspect of it. You sort of just consolidates it, so we take it out of that 10 acres and put it in.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Virginia, did you have anything you wanted to add to the application?
No, just thank you very much for everything.
You're very welcome. Okay, anybody else have any questions, comments on this application? Okay, we did have a call just around supper time from another lady, but she was supposed to be on Zoom, and I do not see anybody in Zoom other than us and Derek.
Just looking at participants, still no one has logged in. This was advertised for what time?
6
For
o'clock.
the start of your public hearings, yeah.
Yeah, so,
Yeah. Okay, having said that, I think we can probably, it is,
There is that one concern letter.
yes, there is one letter that we did receive. I think we've all had it in our file, in our packages, meeting packages, so I think probably that we could come out of the variation board and deal with this, seeing as the party that called in is not on Zoom with us.
resolve the public hearing for variation order 131 of 2023 be closed and the regular session of council be reconvened.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Spicer, second Councillor Belanger. All in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Okay, if we can have the resolution for the variation, please.
Whereas applicant owner tax roll number 252600 legally described as part northeast 11-13-5E located at 29092 Road 74 North has made application for variation order number 131 of 2023 from site area 80 acres to site area proposed lot 1, 3.64 acres, the proposed lot 2, 6.89 acres, residual lot 65.17 acres. From site width 300 feet minimum to site width residual lot 142 feet minimum. Purpose to reduce the minimum site areas and site widths for the proposed lots and residual lots within the A80 agricultural general zone. The requested variance will be part of the conditions within the proposed subdivision S23 of 2993. Therefore be it resolved, variation order 131 of 2023 be approved the following conditions. That the variance be limited to what is being proposed in this application. Any further changes will require a new variance approval.
Okay, can I have a mover? Councillor Borges, second please. Councillor Strang. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Okay, we have a couple more applications that we need to deal with this evening. So the first one is variation 139 on Van Horn Road, and if I can have a resolution to move into the variation board.
Resolved that the regular meeting be adjourned and the public hearing be open for variation order 139 of 2023.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Sutherland, second. Councillor Strang. Further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, call the question. Opposed? Carried. Okay, I'll turn it over to Derek to walk us through this one.
Here we go. As you know, this is variance number 139 of 2023. It's for the property located at 22 Van Horn, and we're going to take a departure from subdivisions and deal with building separation. So this is to reduce the building separation for an accessory building from 10 feet to 2.5 feet within the agriculture restricted zone. So here's the air photo of the site showing the existing home there on the street. And here is the site plan showing what the applicant is wishing to construct there. So they want to construct a sauna shed type of a building, as we noted, 2.5 feet away from the home. And there you can see just on the graphic, just outlining where that sauna shed type building is going to be, and then the actual separation. You know, the zoning bylaw outlines 10 feet, but they're proposing 2.5 feet. This will be located to the rear of the house, so out of view of the public. So I think it's probably fair to say, or arguably, would have a minimum impact on any properties, or this negative impact. And this could be approved subject to just 2 conditions. One is that the variance be limited to what is being proposed. Anything different will have to come back to council. And 2, that the applicant will obtain all required permits from our office, if so required. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for that, Derek. Any questions to the planner from members of council? Okay, is the applicant in the audience this evening?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you have anything that you want to add to your application?
It's very straightforward. I really just want to close that off a bit, just to block the wind and have a little bit of privacy in that back area from the neighbors, that's all.
Okay. Anybody else? Questions? No? Okay. If council is ready to deal with it, I believe that the other lady in the audience is for the last variation that we're working on here. So if we could come out of the variation board, if council has no questions, the applicant will deal with variation 139 of 2023.
Resolved that the public hearing for variation order 139 of 2023 be closed and the regular session of council be reconvened.
Can I have a mover, please? Councilor Spicer, Councilor Ward seconds. Any other comments? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, so if we can have the resolution for this variation.
Whereas the applicant order tax roll number 311973 legally described as parcels HJKML Plan 52170 and located at 22 Van Horn Road has made application for variation order 139 of 2023, building separation 10 feet from the furthest projection to building separation 2.5 feet. Purpose to allow reduced building separation to place a shed sauna on the subject property. Therefore be it resolved that variation order 139 of 2023 be approved with the following conditions. 1, variance is limited to what is proposed in this application and the changes require new variance approval. 2, applicant order to obtain all required permits and approvals from the Red River Planning District if required.
Can I have a mover, please? Councilor Sutherland, second. Councilor Orbis. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay, so we are down to our last planning item this evening. We still have some other general municipal business that we have to look after, but this will be our last planning item. And it is variation 140 of 2023, and if I could have a resolution to move into variation 4.
Resolved that the regular meeting will be adjourned and the public hearing be open for variation order 140 of 2023.
Now, mover, please. Councilor Boulanger, second. Councilor Strang. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. And I'll turn it over to Derek to lead us through this one, please.
Thank you, ma'am. This is the property located at 84130 on Road 29 East. It's related to a previously approved subdivision. It's reduced the lot size requirement within the agriculture zone. So just to refresh your memory, here we have the subject property on the corner of Road 29 East and 85 North. And here is the proposed subdivision layout, which would be separating out the, I guess we can call it the home site in the tree area, making a 25-acre parcel or 25.42 acre parcel, leaving a residual of 83 acres of farmlands. So under the 80 zone, the minimum lot size is 80 acres. So as per the approved subdivision, they need to to variance down to the 25.42 acre minimum lot size. And just once again, this is what we're, this is the property here that we're varying. This was associated with subdivision S232994, which was approved by St. Clements as well as the Planning District Board back in springtime. And this would cover off condition number 2 of the subdivision. If approved, we're recommending that this be approved, subject just to the one standard condition that the variance is limited to what's being proposed. Any changes would be required to come back to council for another variance approval. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for that. Any questions to the planner? Did you have anything you wanted to add to your application?
I'm here, so I will speak. Madam Mayor. I'm just kidding, I won't take up your time.
That's okay.
I just came in support. Honestly, that was a great summary. I was expecting to actually have to do the presentation, so that's kind of nice. In case anybody's wondering, all I'm doing here is consolidating the actual sort of agricultural area per se, and I'm actually leasing it out to a farmer, and that's about to get signed as a lease to actually work that land. And then the forested part is my quasi-retirement project, because I retired from the military and I can't stop moving. So
you need something to do.
Something to do. So that's going to be my, I don't know what I'll do with it, but I'll do something.
Okay, thank you for that. Thank you for your patience this evening.
No problem.
If there are no other questions, I think we can probably come out of variation board and deal with this one.
Resolved that the public hearing for variation order 140 of 2023 be closed in regular session of council be reconvened.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Horbus, Councillor Spicer, seconds. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. And can I have the resolution for the variation, please?
Whereas applicant owner of tax roll number 500-400, legally described as Northeast 2-15-5E and located at 84130 Road, 29 East, has made application for variation order 140 of 2023 from site area 80 acres to site area proposed 25.42 acres. Purpose to reduce the minimum site area for proposed lot within the AA80 agricultural general zone. The requested variance is part of the condition within the conditionally approved subdivision application S23-2994. Therefore, be it resolved, variation order 140 of 2023 be approved with the following conditions: that the variance be limited to what is being proposed in this application. Any further changes will require any variance approval.
Okay, thank you for that. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Sutherland, Councillor Strang, seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. And that concludes our planning items for this evening. So, Derek, before you run away, I do have a question, and I could probably ask around the table here, but...
Recording stopped.
That's your Zoom, right?
That's right.
Okay. I guess I'm wondering, 3 of these variations that we just dealt with, the subdivisions were dealt with like way back when?
Yeah.
So were they not able to be combined like some of the other ones we had this evening?
Yeah, it could have been.
Okay.
But
So who is responsible to tell the applicant that? Like, is it when they make their application for the subdivision?
Yes, so our office always informs the applicant that they have that option. If the subdivision is approved, they're going to need a variance, and maybe they just want to go to council just once to deal with it all at the same time. But it's up to the applicants if they actually want to go through with it or not. Some folks want to hedge their bets, right? Make the application for just the subdivision, see if it gets approved, and then spend money on the variance, because if for some reason the subdivision is rejected, then the variance isn't needed, and there's no refunds on that. So we do have from time to time people that will just say, no, I just want to see what happens first. So.
And I do get that, but at the same time, like, I'm sure they don't get any break on the cost, but could it be a cost for a combined hearing and make it a little bit more palatable for the applicants rather than doing the 2 applications? Like, and I know it's all set out in the fee schedule and everything. It just, you know, here we're fighting to have these combined hearings, and today we have 3, 4, that the subdivisions have been approved, and now months later, the variations are coming back.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Well,
go
So
ahead, Rob.
when the applicant comes to the counter and they want to do the subdivision, do they, and if they want to go forward with it, do they have to pay for the subdivision at that time and the variance at that time, all together? Because you said if they don't get, they're hedging their bets, if they don't get the subdivision application, then they lose money on the variance.
Yeah, so the typical scenario is someone comes in and makes an application for subdivision, then our staff have a look at it, go through everything, go, oh, geez, you're gonna need, what you're proposing needs a variance. Give them a call before the subdivision even gets to council and says, look, another application will be needed if the subdivision is approved. Would you like to apply for that at this time as well? Probably save you time, but it's gonna cost you more money. And at that point, they make a decision on whether or not they want to spend money at that time on the variance or not.
Okay. So they're given an option at that point too?
You're given an option,
Okay.
yeah. We encourage people to do that. It's the same in other municipalities. There is something that we talked about some months ago in the new zoning bylaws where you could just make it a requirement for a public hearing. Right now in your zoning bylaw, you're only required to have a public hearing on a subdivision if you're opening up a new road or if you're doing on multiple lots. I think it's about 2 or 3, whatever the threshold is, right? So you could say as well, subdivisions will require a public hearing if you don't adhere to the zoning standards. And then it kind of forces the fact that you've got to go for a public hearing anyways. That may be one solution. The other thing is, you know, is we've been lobbying the government, but so just to make some changes to the act.
Go ahead, Deepak.
I think what we should note is these were applied for before we made the decision with Red River Planning. So last year, we had made the decision that we want to see. And so both Red River Planning and the administration have been monitoring applications. If there's a subdivision, usually the ones, and it's only time that we're really concerned about it is when there's a two-lot split. There's no public hearing on the subdivision, but a public hearing on the variance. And we get asked by our residents, why am I coming to a public hearing when the decision was already made? So on those, we've been strongly pushing to the applicant, and I don't think there's, unless there was something missed, but since that decision's been made, everyone from Red River has been coming forward as a combined hearing.
I guess it's just because there was 4 tonight.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we haven't had any for months, and now there's 4.
And
So-
that's always the other challenge was that when somebody would come in for a subdivision, they may wait a year or a year and a half
Before they
came in for the variance. Now we're kind of forcing that all together.
Yeah. Go ahead, Scott.
I think what the planner is saying is, I think the concern's real, because, I mean, there's different charges for different subdivisions, but a single lot split is $2,010. So now there's different charges for variances too. So if you're doing, density or lot dimension, it's $1,500. So you're almost doubling the cost. So they are taking a bit of a chance, right? Because if the subdivision doesn't go through, you lost $1,500. But I think what the mayor's getting at is maybe we need to do a little enticement there if we can. Do a joint application, you can pay a little less maybe. But that's something we have to talk about at the board.
Yeah, I think maybe that's probably somewhere, someone along the way is going to discuss that at the board. So I guess because there were 4 tonight, it kind of like, what the hell's going on?
Well, when you go to planning and you go to the desk at the front there and you apply for these applications, right? And then the planner, whoever comes up to the counter who's talking to you, he's gonna tell you your chances forgetting this, because anything that you guys recommend is usually council stamps it, right? So,
Well, no, not always.
well, 99% of the time.
Oh, I wish I was that good.
No, but I'm just saying, when you guys put your conditions in there, I mean, council passes it. Since I've been here, there's not been anything different, so to me, that's a waste of time and money for the applicant.
That may be the case in this municipality, not so in other municipalities.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah. But what we do as well, when we have a good look through, when people give us a call or we have a meeting, we'll identify whatever, red flags they might have to hey, you might be dealing with highways or historical resource branch, or you might need a variance for this, let's think about that, the more red flags, obviously, the tougher it is, but, when something comes in that's, meets almost everything, obviously your chances are a lot better. That being said, I've also seen things rejected that meet everything, so, yeah.
Hard to do that now.
Okay, thank you for that. Yeah,
It's been a
I
long
think
day,
that's,
thank you.
yeah.
Thanks.
And we still have some stuff to deal with in camera, so.
Was there anything else, Roger?
Nope, that was kind of just a one-off that kind of got me going here tonight, so.
For sure. Well, thanks for your time, and I'll see a couple of you tomorrow.
You bet.
Yeah, where are you parked, Eric, at the back?
Just the back.
Yeah, just scoot out this way or.
Okay, thank you.
Can I pass the resolution for in-camera? Then
Sure.
Take the break.
Yeah.
Resolve the council recess the regular meeting and go to in-camera to discuss legal and personnel issues and further be able to but all matters discussed are to remain confidential as per section 83, 1D of the municipal law.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Strang, second Councillor Spicer. All in favor? Opposed? That is carried.
Have something that needs to be
Thank you.
Bill 68, Bill